Bring you a top 5 prediction regarding Mega Evolutions within Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Now, these Mega Evolutions that I'll be predicting, I'm not going to be talking about the starters or version exclusives such as Sapphire and Zangoose, so I'm not going to be talking about them at all, or the starters. This is basically just all of the other Pokemon within the Hoenn region that I believe should get a Mega Evolution, or deserve a Mega Evolution, rather. So, if you guys do not agree with my top 5, make sure to leave it in the comments below on what you think the top 5 Megas for you within Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I'm really interested to see what you guys put in the top 5 in the comments down below. I do read every single comment, so make sure to comment down below, and I will make sure to check out your guys' top 5 predicted Mega Evolutions for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So other than that, guys, let's head straight into the top 5 countdown. In the number 5 position, I believe that Tropius should be getting a Mega Evolution within Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Tropius is a very underrated Pokemon in my opinion, and you know, looking at its base stats, you can see why it is underrated. Only 99 being its highest base stat in the HP, and you know, it is kind of underrated considering that it does have a 4 times weakness to Ice, and not having much defense to back that up is not very good at all. However, it does get the hidden ability Harvest, which makes it kind of viable within competitive, meaning that it can harvest citrus berries and lum berries once they've already been eaten. At the end of a turn, it has a slight chance of you know, harvesting a brand new berry. So I think that if this thing got a Mega Evolution, it should be the Tropius site that you find within the game, and it Mega Evolves into Mega Tropius. Now, with Mega Tropius, I do think that it should still maintain its Grass Flying type. I was really considering, you know, maybe giving it a Grass Dragon type. However, I think the Grass Flying is probably the best option for it. And then, if it does Mega Evolve, I do believe it should get Gale Wings. Now, if you don't know what Gale Wings is, it basically gives a priority to Flying type moves. Now, in conjunction with Gale Wings and its base stat increases, I think that Mega Tropius will be very viable within Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire's metagame, considering that, you know, Tropius itself, regular, is kind of shit. It is shit. It's got nothing good going for it other than the Harvest ability, and with the Mega Evolution, it will make Tropius benefit so much and so much more viable within competitive battling. So that's why I believe Tropius should be getting a Mega Evolution within Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So let's move straight on to number 4. In the number 4 position, I believe that Exploud should be getting a Mega Evolution within Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Exploud is honestly one of my favorite Pokemon, period. Exploud is just an amazing Pokemon, especially because it gets that move Boom Burst. 140 base power, 100 accuracy with no drawbacks is an amazing, amazing move, especially because it does get the scrappy hidden ability as well, meaning that it hits ghost types. I'm done. Exploud has to be getting a Mega Evolution. Look at its base stats. 91 special attack. That Boom Burst isn't going to be doing anything if you do not have a choice specs on the Exploud. So if it did Mega Evolve, I believe it should be the Exploudite, giving it the Mega Evolution into Mega Exploud. Now, Mega Exploud, I believe it should be just a normal type. You know, similar to the Exploud, keeping that normal type. And the ability is a new ability that I had made up called Base Drop, meaning that all sound moves do 50% more damage. So that means that Boom Burst base power is 140 plus half of that, which is 70, sorry. So you got to add 70 to 140, giving you 210 base power. Then you got to add Stab. It's going to make it Mega Exploud so good. It's just unbelievable. Mega Exploud will be so good if this is the right base stats that are on screen. So you can see here I added 30 to its special attack, giving it 121 special attack, and I did lower the speed because I believe that if Mega Exploud Mega Evolved, if just regular Exploud Mega Evolved, I believe that it should get a lot bigger, meaning that it's going to be a lot slower. So that is why I've added these base stats as I have. So this is reasons why I believe that, that Exploud should get a Mega Evolution, because Exploud is honestly one of my favorite Pokemon, and it's kind of like, it's not really popular, you know, it's kind of just, you know, left behind. No one really talks about it too much, but Exploud, believe me, Exploud, if it does get a Mega Evolution, will be absolutely insane. This has to happen. This has to happen. So, anyways, let's move on to number 3 in the countdown. Heading into the number 3 slot, I have Sableye. Sableye is one of those Pokemon that you just either love it or you really hate it, and in my personal opinion, I freaking love Sableye. Sableye is just an amazing Pokemon. You know, getting that Prankster is amazing. Priority Will-O-Wisp, priority Recover, priority, just about everything is priority. You know, it's absolutely amazing. Sableye is nothing to sleep on. Sableye is just an amazing Pokemon in general, and a lot of people have been suggesting that they want an actual evolution, which isn't really possible within the new games. However, a Mega Evolution is definitely viable, and it's something that I would really like to see within Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So if this thing did Mega Evolve, it would have to be using the Sableye, and a lot of people would say Sableye, but nah, I think the Sableye is a better word for it. And if it did Mega Evolve, this is what it should look like, similar to this. All the designs will be linked in the description because, you know, I didn't make them. They're all the links will be in the description if you guys wanted to actually be linked to the artists who made them. So the base stats on this Mega Sableye, I've made it more of a bulky set on this Sableye. I don't think that Sableye should be buffed in its attacking stats because I don't think Sableye is much of an attacker in the first place. I mean, 75 base attack, it could potentially get a huge boost in physical attack, which is definitely a viable choice that I think that Game Freak might make if they do provide a Mega Sableye to us in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. But in my personal opinion, I think that Mega Sableye should be a lot more bulkier in the defenses and the HP. So I've added 40 into the HP, 25 to defense, and special defense is boosted by 35. And this is what I think Mega Sableye should look like within Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So let's head over to the number 2 spot on the top 5 countdown. So heading to the second last position of this top 5, in the second spot, we have Altaria. Now, Altaria is a really great Pokemon in general. Look at its defenses. It's pretty decent. You know, it's got 90 physical defense and 105 special defense. It's pretty decent, not even going to lie. Dragon Flying type, a really good typing. However, you are weak to Ice again, similar to Tropius. It does have the ability Natural Cure and Cloud 9. So Cloud 9 is actually a really good ability, and it was a really good ability in Generation 5, considering weather and all of that. However, in Generation 6, it hasn't been too much of a problem with weather, so Cloud9 hasn't been used as often. But anyways, Altaria is a really great Pokemon, as I said. Altaria, I think, should get a Mega Evolution. It's kind of swept to the side, similar to the other Pokemon that I have stated already in this top 5. You know, it's kind of swept to the side, and a lot of people don't really talk about it. They don't use it competitively, so I believe that a Mega Evolution would solve its problem, and a lot more people would use it if they actually implemented the exact same kind of like ideas I had for Mega Altaria into Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Then a lot more people would use Altaria. So if it did Mega Evolve, it would be the Altarite. Altaria-ite sounds a little bit weird, so I put Altarite. And if it did Mega Evolve, it would be a Dragon Fairy type. Who does not want a Dragon Fairy type in the game? Dragon Fairy would be such a great freaking typing. It does not have a Dragon weakness. How good is that? A Dragon Pokemon that doesn't have a Dragon weakness. Absolutely amazing. And the ability is Pixelate, which boosts normal type moves by 30% and changes them into a Fairy type. Now, also, something that a lot of people don't know is that Altaria actually learns Moonblast through level up in Pokemon X and Y. That kind of hints towards the fact that maybe they are going to get a Mega Evolution that's a Fairy type within, you know, the new games coming up. I really hope that they do improve it. And the base stats that I did for Mega Altaria is that I did boost its physical defense just a tad, and I also boosted its special attack, because I think that if it did Mega Evolve, it would need to have that Fairy Stab move in Moonblast, so, you know, it does need a special attack boost as well. I wanted the speed of this Mega Altaria to be increased. I think that Mega Altaria should be fast as hell, and as well as giving it some extra bulk into its HP, as you can see on screen. So that is the number 2 spot. Now let's head into the number 1 spot on this countdown. Here we are at the number 1 spot of the countdown, and I believe that Metagross should get a Mega Evolution within the new remakes. Metagross would be absolutely insane. Could you imagine walking up to the champion in the final stages of the game, seeing Steven Stone there, and he pulls out the Mega Metagross? That would be absolutely insane. I'd love to see that shit within the new game. So Metagross being a Steel Psychic type, not getting too many good abilities to be honest, and its base stats, a 600 base stat total, which is insane, a pseudo-legendary. So if it did Mega Evolve, I believe that it should be the Metagross-ite, given to you by Steven Stone after the game, after you complete it. So I think that that would be really cool. and then once it evolves into the Big Daddy Mega Metagross, I think it should still maintain the Steel Psychic type. I think that that's a really good typing for Metagross itself, and then the ability should be Filter, which reduces super effective damage by 25 or 50%, something broken like that, and I think that Mega Metagross would utilize this ability really well, meaning that, you know, moves like the Fire type moves and Dark type moves would be reduced in damage. That would be insane, absolutely broken. Now, Mega Metagross, I believe that its speed should be lowered a bit because I think it's going to get a lot heavier. You know, Metagross by itself, regular Metagross, is 70 base speed, which is pretty decent. I mean, it's pretty good, and I believe that if it does Mega Evolve, it should get a lot heavier and reducing its speed. So that's why I've got minus 30 in speed, which gives you a lot more points to invest into the other stats. Its attack is 165 base. That is absolutely insane, and having a lot of special and physical bulk and a lot of HP. So this thing is going to be living a lot of hits and dealing a lot of damage at the same time. I think that this would be one of the best Megas to use in competitive battling as well. This thing would absolutely wreck teams to shreds. It would be absolutely amazing to see sweeps of Mega Metagross online. It would be amazing. So this is the #1 Pokemon that I want to get a Mega Evolution in the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire games. I hope you guys have enjoyed the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire top 5 Mega predictions of my top 5 anyways. So if you guys have a different top 5, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below, because I do check all of the comments on all of my videos. So make sure to leave your top 5 down below so I can